Okay, so hello to anyone who has clicked on this video. I'm sure anyone's watching this may have seen me on um, Sean's DPDR manual channel. So I have designed my own course, my own um, recovery guide, and I think Sean's DPDR manual is absolutely fantastic, and I highly recommend anyone who hasn't seen it or has clicked on this video to go look in it and to look at his content. And I just decided to make my own course and my own teaching because I think it can be helpful. And on his video, I had said that I had DPDR for 7 years, and I that was from the moment of um, the the incident that I had with taking a synthetic psychedelic. But I definitely had sort of similar symptoms. Um, I think a long time before that. And I can say that now, looking back and knowing the the ins and outs or the how you define the feelings, and um, so I think I can more accurately say that now that I know how long it lasted. But anyway, I had a long time. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna get the my own information on my course. My course is not expensive. I charge €30 for what is the actual course, and there is a lot in there. Um, and that's basically the bare minimum that I could actually. I put more hours into it than that, but I recognize a lot of people are struggling and they don't have a lot of money or whatever it is. Um, so I want to keep it as affordable as possible. But I'm just being honest about that. I have to charge money for it. I wish it could be free, but I also have to value my own um, time. And I know that many people have messaged me asking me could I help them. So I do calls if people want to contact me and call me. I charge €20 or whatever that is in for your call that you make to me because I can't message people indefinitely. It's just I don't have the time to do that. So I set that as a sort of standard. And I also think it means that you are taking it seriously. I'm not just messaging you back and forth. Anyway, that is just I want to clarify that part in the start of the video so then I don't have to go over it, and I'm not trying to um you know sell you something. If you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. It's not That's totally your decision. But I think that what I have made and created is really worthwhile for anyone who's struggling with this condition. So basically, what my overview, my approach um, to teach, I obviously take things that Sean has thought of. I incorporate things from other people that I've watched. I also incorporate things from my own life experience. I incorporate things from different um, philosophical and religious traditions. I do consider myself to be, spiritual, but I'm not saying that I subscribe to anything particularly, but the practices that I have or not made, but I have discovered and built into. the course that I made are, um, yeah, they're not my ideas, but they worked. And I don't think that I could have recovered without all of this information. Um, so yeah, if you are not spiritual or you don't consider yourself religious or you don't believe in God or anything, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to try to convince you that you need to um, believe in anything or that I'm not interested in that. What this is about is it's about ultimately, if you want to look at purely scientifically, it's about ways to de-stress, ways to calm your nervous system, ways to help you help you recover essentially. Um, so basically, what I my teaching comes down to is a couple of very simple things. Now, I called my recovery course the 10 key principles for DPD recovery, and I think that um, they're all crucial. But essentially, what it boils down to is um, that the first you what you need to do in order, or what I don't want to use terms like need or you must or whatever. I don't. I'm not. This is not. Um, you can go do whatever you want. If you don't want to listen to me, you don't have to listen to me. But what you want is first of all to recognize that this is not something to get rid of. That's the first, probably the most difficult first thing to come to terms with. Because if you're looking around on the internet and you found this, then you probably want to, in some ways, get rid of this feeling, the sensations, the feelings that you have. So you think, okay, if I can just find the solution, the magical solution that takes it all away, and I no longer have to have DPDR, then then I will be happy. Okay, but what if you find that solution? That all happens, and then magically one day, or by accident one day, something happens in your life, and you go, "Oh crap! Oh no, these feelings. I thought I got rid of them, or I thought I had found the solution," and then it comes back, or something like that. Not that it will, but I'm just saying that if that happened, what would you do then? That's why I don't think it's ever. I think you can almost forget about the actual, the condition itself. You can just say, okay, I I'm experiencing an intense form of discomfort that I don't like. Um, and the reason why I'm framing it this way is because my own belief, my own understanding is that this is not something negative. This is not something to be viewed as something to get rid of. And I think if you're coming at it from that point of view, you are going to, I don't, I think it's very difficult. It becomes more difficult than it needs to be. And that's kind of the first thing that that I would recommend is looking at it and saying, can I um, see this as something that can ultimately be used for good in my life? Can I take this, embrace it, and then ultimately use it um, as a force for change in my life? And then from there, I think everything else can happen. But without that, yeah, I'm not convinced that it's possible to have a kind of the way I describe it is a sort of resilient, robust recovery that is built upon the right foundation. You essentially want to get to the stage of where you are not, um, it doesn't phase you whether the feelings are there or they're not there, and that your approach is the same. And again, I think this is often talked about in terms of like not giving a shit or just like living life as if it wasn't there. I think it all is kind of the same thing. Or people talk about distraction, or they go talk about like living your life, that kind of stuff. I think that's, I think it's pointed the same thing. Um, I don't want to get bogged down in words, but my sort of main point, which I think is I think that can become problematic if it's not understood correctly, is that you do not want to be running away from this condition. You don't want to be running away from the feelings. You don't want to be running away from your thoughts. You don't want to be running away, constantly trying to avoid the sensations or sort of pretending like it doesn't affect you or like sort of suppressing it. That's where I think that these terms can become problematic. But if you understand that it's there, you, what can you do about it? Can you get rid of it? Well, if you could, I don't think you'd be watching the video. So if you can't get rid of it, what's your best choice? And in my opinion, in my experience, your best choice is to become okay with the fact that it is there. And it can be really challenging. It can be really difficult. Um, Especially if you're in an environment and you feel like you're sort of cut off. That's very challenging. But it's going to be there. So what can we change? We can change our responses. We can change how we deal with it. So that is the general idea. My approach to it is that you want to almost befriend the condition. You want to almost look at it as if it is something that you, on some deep level, really needed or wanted in your life. And it's very difficult to swallow that when you're, let's say, really in the throes of the experience of DPDR, because it's like it's very bizarre. It's You're disconnected and you feel like you're floating around in ecstasy, but not in ecstasy. But that song, like floating around. You're just sort of um, sorry. um, but yeah, you're just sort of not really with it. And but I think we can turn it into something that we learn from. And I also would really like to break any sort of cycle that you're in of um, feeling shit about the fact that you have DPDR. And again, I'm actually going to use, I don't think anyone has DPDR. And I don't mean that in some sort of like, you're not like, feeling what you're feeling. You are. But what I'm saying is that if I say I'm happy, I'm not, I don't have, no one says I have happiness. No one says I have happy, I own happiness. I am happy all the time. So the idea of having DPDR is, I think, a bad starting point as well. At this moment, you are experiencing DPDR in your reality. It's not what you, maybe it's not the most pleasant of sensations. You probably much prefer to be happy or content or whatever, but you're experiencing it and that's fine. But again, changing the language on it, changing your viewpoint on it is really important because if I have something, then I become it. I am the condition. If I say, okay, I'm experiencing it because of many, to be honest, most of the time it's something very, very, it makes sense why someone would have it, especially if you've had an incredibly stressful period in your life or you've been, I don't know, something really awful has happened or I don't know, you've maybe been abusing drugs or something like that. When you have these sensations, well, it makes sense. Your body is saying, I was going to say, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, but um, maybe you're not a celebrity, but that's what it's saying. It's saying, I'm in panic mode, get me out of here. So from that point of view, um, it makes total sense why you would be experiencing this. And I get why people say I have a DPDR, but the thing is that it's not who you are. It's not the full range of your experience. And oftentimes, I think when it becomes something chronic or something that's continuing, it's because um, we kind of invest so much into this sensation. But that's a different matter. What's important is right now, wherever you are, whatever the sensations are, whatever you are feeling, that's fine, and that accepting it, coming to terms with it, saying, okay, I have two choices here. I can continue to try to run away and get rid of this thing and scour the internet for decades. Okay, not decades, but months or whatever, trying to research this and find a solution. Um, and or um, coming to terms with the fact that it is in your reality, it is there, and that's fine, and we can get better at dealing with it, and ultimately it's gonna go away because it's not necessary for your body to keep this state going if there isn't this constant re-energization of the mental and emotional processes that keep this going over and over and over again. Um, but you have to imagine it like a big wheel of DPDR, and that that you're kind of caught on it, and you can't. There's the best analogy here is like a quicksand analogy. if you're in quicksand and you start poking and running and trying to get out of the quicksand gets stronger and it starts pulling you more and more into quicksand. Whereas if you, easier said than done, but if you say, okay, I'm in this quicksand and it's pulling me down, if I fight it and resist it and go against it and, you know, struggle, it's going to pull me down faster. Or if I say, okay, this is the situation I'm in, and then you say, you know, what can I do? Where can I go from here? But you're not resisting or fighting the quicksand, then you may find that you can reach for something. You can reach for something out there. You can grab onto a rope and you can pull yourself out of the quicksand. But if you're in the quicksand and all your focus and all your energy is on fighting and resisting and struggling to get out of the quicksand, you almost miss um, the other availabilities. And it's not, you're not going to be perfect at this, but if you start from that position, then you can start implementing changes and different responses. Um, but I think if you don't have that recognition, if you don't have that position of I am, I am, this is real, this I have this. I know I just said something that I disagree with earlier, but it's kind of this. It's it means I'm okay. I'm experiencing this. If you want to say I have it, I don't, it's fine. I think that it's important to recognize that you were not this condition. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's another video. Whatever gets you to that position of, okay, this is here, and I am going to embrace and accept this as much as I can on a daily basis. And then from this position, I can then take um, real charge of my own recovery. Then you can make the changes that you need to. So I will leave it just at this for this video, and I will do more videos. And I hope that you can. I hope this helps you at the moment. And look at the bio for any information on my course and for my contact if you want to contact me. Um, if not, that's totally fine. I'm not trying to. I want. The thing is, I want to help people to understand this and get better and recover. So the faster I can achieve that goal, the better for me. I don't have any interest in, um, I want you to get better. So, um, yeah, but keep an eye out here for more of these videos, and I hope this helps. And yeah.